Well, hello, ride on people. Today's plan is to have a little ride up to an Indian dealership for a little powwow and meet a friend up there, have a look around the bikes. So me and Jerry are going to meet up and ride up to Atlanta Indian, something like that, up in Cumming in Georgia, and we're going to meet a friend Eric there on the Multistrada, and then afterwards we'll probably have a little ride up to Hourglass along the Buford Dam area, very picturesque, and hopefully we'll stop off at Hourglass Motorcycles, or I'm not sure what they're called, Triumphs BMW of Buford now, and have a little look-see there. It's a beautiful day. According to my Nike watch thing, well, you can see that it's supposed to be about sort of 64-65 degrees at the moment. It's just after 9 o'clock, and should get up to low 80s today, so I've got the old airflow jacket on today to hopefully flow a bit of air, and a little thin top just to keep me a little bit warm for the initial ride to the meet up with Jerry. Anyway, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Last week's plan didn't really go to plan, so we'll see, and speak to you later. Met up with Jerry, and we had a pretty smooth ride up to the Indian dealership. Couldn't really miss it in Cumming. It's got a great big Indian Motorcycles placard outside the entrance, and the place is pretty nice. It's got a kind of stone entrance, lots of wood, and very modern and kind of traditional at the same time. So we parked up our bikes outside and in the sunshine, and looked at a couple of bikes outside while we were there. There was a guy demoing a matte black Indian Scout. I think he quite liked it. He kept on mentioning how light it felt compared with Harley equivalents. I guess he's comparing that particularly with like the Sportster models, and seemed to like it. It's a nicely finished bike that they've done a good job of hiding the liquid cooling, and it's a very modern looking bike. Bike I like particularly is the Indian Springfield. It's kind of got the best of the looks of the Heritage, a kind of Road King type look with the quick detached screen, but it's also got the geometry of the Chieftain, so it turns that a little bit quicker, and it's just got nice clean lines, and it's a model I particularly like the look of. I love the fact that they're bold enough to put that great big chrome Indian logo right across the tank, and of course black and chrome always looks pretty good on a cruiser. That Thunderstroke 111 engine is also a bit special. I've ridden a couple of Indians now, and they put out bags of torque and feel very smooth, and I haven't really heard of any reliability problems with them. They're a nice bike, and of course some would say that it's pushed Harley Davidson to come out with a 107 Milwaukee 8s, which are very, very refined, and I think now a good match for the 111. So we're at the Indian dealership. It's already hot, and let's go in and have a look around. So the shop is pretty well appointed inside. As you'd imagine, it's like a modern Harley Davidson dealership with lots of wood everywhere, and plenty of bikes, it has to be said, at this particular Indian dealership. They had a big line-up of the Chieftain Dark Horse in the kind of menacing matte black, and that looked pretty cool with the blacked out engine as well. They also had 2 or 3 of the very latest Chieftain models. They didn't have a Chieftain Elite, which is kind of like their CVO equivalent, but they did have 3 of the Chieftain Limited in black. And the way in which this differs from the standard Chieftain is it's got a bigger front wheel, a 19-inch, I believe, and the wheels are absolutely stunning, as you can see, with the kind of blacked out with the kind of silver inserts. And it also has a larger screen with also airflow cutouts at the base of it, and a couple of other doodads that basically make it the limited. But it's actually very good value, I think. I think it's about $500 more than the standard Chieftain, and several thousand less than the Chieftain Elite. And I think it's currently the one to go for if you're after a Chieftain personally. Also looks pretty cool all round, that bike. I think this shot shows the taller screen pretty well, and the slim saddlebags are nice, very kind of street glide-ish in terms of being thin, I guess. And those wheels just look fantastic. They're really set off against the chrome front end, and surprisingly they've dropped the Indian logo, the Indian head, I guess you'd say, on the front fender, and I'm really surprised by that because it's a real strong branding feature. I think that's kind of copying Harley too far when Harley removed the chrome tips off the fenders to give it that clean look. Personally, I think it looks nice, but I'd sooner they kept the Indian chieftain head. That's what it's all about. One bike I did really like the colour scheme on. They had a flat matte white. It's called a white smoke colour with a kind of graphite greyed out engine, and it's a really nice colour combination. That if you like flat looking matte paint, and you're not adverse to kind of a white or creamy colour, that white smoke is really something classy, and I like that a lot. So it's a nice shop there, and one of the things that tickled me was in the washrooms for the faucets. They've got a gas tank and two handlebars, which is just fantastic. You pull the handlebars towards you, and the water comes out. It's I don't know where they got that from, how much it cost them, but it's a really nice little touch that makes me smile every time I see it. So it's a nice one. Jerry quite liked the Scout, which surprised me. He's not really into cruisers, and doesn't really understand why people would like them, but he is a sucker for matte paint, and this one is in a kind of smoky grey colour, and I think the lightweight weight and the low seat and the kind of smoky kind of silver grey colour kind of appealed to him, and I think he liked it. This dealer also sells slingshots as well, so they had a couple of those there. It was nice to see one with the hood up, so you could have a closer look at the engine. Thing's got a massive rear tyre on it. God knows how much they cost. Quite a lot, I'd imagine, and they probably go through them fairly quickly. It's got a massive belt drive, Kevlar belt drive for the actual drive system, which shows people that belt can handle big torque. Certainly my favourite method of driving vehicles over kind of oily and cheap chains and heavy and complex shaft drives. I think really belt is the way to go unless you're taking your vehicle off-road. So we enjoyed our stay at the Indian store, looking around, checking that out. Next we wanted to go to Hourglass to check out the Triumphs and BMWs that are currently available, and we decided to go via the Beaufort Dam. And this is a really nice part of the world. An Act of Congress on July 25th, 1946 authorised a multiple-purpose dam on the Chattahoochee River in Beaufort. It was in the interest of flood control, power and water supply. On March the 1st, 1950, a ceremonial groundbreaking drew thousands to the site, and that site is now what we know locally as Beaufort Dam. It would be the second dam on the Apalachicola Chattahoochee Flint River system. It's in an area of natural and man-made outstanding beauty, and I'm always in awe of the vast scale and sheer volume of the water held back by the dam. Lake Lanier is a wonderful place to enjoy the water, with miles of unsport waterways and views. Sadly, it's also the location of many misadventure deaths annually, so if you're going to play in the water, kids, avoid alcohol, always wear a life preserver. It just could save your life. I spent time out on the lake myself, and there's always some activities happening at the weekends. It's a great leisure place to hang out on the lake and the surrounding areas. If you're ever in near the area, well worth checking out on a sunny day. So the dam road runs for 20 miles or so, and there's always a nice place to ride, although it can be quite congested with the traffic. But we made it onto Hourglass Cycles, who are also up by the end of the lake on the kind of eastern side of it. And they're a factory authorised dealer and service centre and part supplier for BMW, Triumph, MV Augusta and Motus motorcycles. So very much European and American brands. And they carry a wide variety of riding and safety gear for whatever type of riding you love to do as well. And they work pretty hard to build genuine relationships with people, I think. It's a family owned and run business, a father and son team of Keith and Kyle Campbell. They have experience of the car and bike business. That's not always a good recipe, I think. I usually find car dealers don't understand the motorcycle world if they subsequently open a bike shop. But Kyle is a real enthusiast, and it's clear he's really passionate about the brands he sells and the people he sells to. I think they're good people, and if you're up that way, by all means check them out. So we're here now at BMW of Beaufort, or Triumph of Beaufort, whichever is your preferred genre, or mark I should say. And Eric didn't actually catch up with us at the Indian store, but he's hoping to catch up with us here, so let's go inside for a look-see. So we're inside Hourglass now, and just checking out some of the bikes that they have in the showroom at the moment. And they have a black Triumph bobber. I haven't seen it in black before. It looks pretty smart. Those of you that have seen my Triumph bobber test ride video will know that it's a bike I really like, and it looked pretty cool in black. They also had the Morello red bike there, and that would be my colour preference for a block colour. I think the red colour looks pretty stunning, and also the two-tone in the British Racing green and silver. It's a great little bike, and they have a demo if you fancy riding it. They had a Daytona 675 there, and it made me wonder when that bike is going to get the 765 engine from the new Street Triple, and that's really quite a bike, that new Street Triple. It's got a lot of tech on that, particularly the new TFT dashboard and so forth. But Eric and Jerry enjoyed themselves there. We had quite a laugh as usual, and quite a bit of banter. And one of the bikes which was quite unusual there, not really unusual but unusual to see, was the Motus V4. And that particular bike is made in Alabama, in the next state, along with Confederate. That's another Alabama motorcycle manufacturer. And the big V4 puts out about 165 horsepower, I think. It sounds pretty sweet when it's running. I've heard it running before, and but it does cost quite a lot of money. I'm not sure what the cost is offhand, but I think it's around about 35 grand. So more for the connoisseur and perhaps the iron butt rider, that one. The showroom at Hourglass is pretty well set up. They've got a kind of almost different showroom for the BMWs and a different one for the Triumphs, with the kind of Motus and MVs in between. They had a sweet red Thruxton R there. That bike is really good looking in the flesh. It's something you don't always appreciate from the photographs, but when you see it in the flesh and you're checking out the Brembos and the Ollins and the Olins and the the spoke wheels and just the general fit and finish of Triumphs nowadays, they've got it sussed. They're a great company, and I think as a modern manufacturer, they're on the jazz all right.
To ourselves.
So Jerry, tell me.
I don't want to do this. Oh boy.
Tell me, Jerry.
I had to walk out of the room. I had to walk out of the room when I saw because Kimberly was with me. While I'm listening to it, and we started to do the lunch interviews, I had to walk out.
So Jerry, back in the day, for the children on the interweb, back in the day there used to be a TV program called Magnum. Ooh. With an actor called Thomas Selleck, and he was very famous the world over because he had a big moustache.
Still does.
And then in the 90s, when he acted in small parts, like I think he was Monica's boyfriend in Friends for a while and stuff. He actually shaved it off, and I noticed at that point in time that approximately 0.1% of the male population in the entire world had a moustache, and since then I haven't seen any at all.
I know. Well, here's
Are you bringing it back? Are you starting a trend?
You don't want to see me without it because I totally look different. I look like a doofus.
I think without the accent, I'd have you down as a British RAF
My kids
pilot.
don't recognize me without it. So
is that right?
Okay. And getting back to Magnum, wasn't he the original Marlboro Man? I hear.
What?
I think he was Marlboro Man.
Cowboy. That guy died.
You're making it up.
Before that guy.
He was. Google it.
The Marlboro Man.
Google it. He was the Marlboro Man.
No.
Before he got the red Ferrari.
Was he really?
No.
Magnum. First of all, you forgot the
Marlboro
PI.
Man. Who the hell's the Marlboro Man?
PI.
No, I think of the Marlboro Man is that. That's what's his face. The
camera right.
Jerry, you are not camera shy.
Who's the actor that played the wrestler?
The Ride On channel loves you.
Mickey Rourke. Wasn't Mickey Rourke the Marlboro Man?
Mickey Rourke? No, he was in...
With matey from Miami Vice. Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke, wasn't it? Marlboro Man and me.
Yeah.
See? Right, okay.
I think that's Marley and me.
So that's Charlie Cooper bringing back moustaches. So.
No mas. I'm gun shy.
I'm looking for.
You screwed me last week. I had to sleep in the doghouse for 2 nights.
What I want to know this week is...
Did you go with me like this then?
So, not so long ago, you had a little off on a bike, didn't you? You had a little...
Today was such a positive day. He's got to drag up this to put this in my head. What?
So, on one of the many vacations that Eric takes every couple of weeks, he was riding a hired BMW GS, and he fell off it. He lost control. Let's say that. And there was extensive damage to the bike, and unfortunately it was because there was a problem with the ABS. The ABS wasn't working. That's correct, isn't it?
Correct.
The ABS was not working. And I just wondered whether you ever crashed any other motorcycles you had before they invented ABS, or any bikes you had that didn't have ABS.
One wreck pre-ABS, and it was North Georgia Mountains. Guy wrecked in front of me actually, and right on the road, and I had to lay down my bike to avoid hitting him.
I had to. So it wasn't really your fault. That one wasn't your fault.
Well, it was my fault, but I would have hit him. He was literally on the road in front of me, the guy.
So
you chose him over your bike.
I chose him over my bike. My bike went off the mountain. Had to be winched up.
So there was. So let me get this right. You've had multiple accidents on bikes without ABS, of which none were your fault.
Oh, of course they're my fault. I'm riding them. But ABS would have contributed. Would have probably avoided both of them. Yeah. ABS would have avoided both of those wrecks.
I know that if we had Mr. Charlie here, he'd be telling you how good ABS is.
He's changed. He has a new religion now.
Yeah.
It's called ABS.
Yeah. I think. I mean, to me, I wouldn't. If I have a choice,
Charlie's
going to
grow a moustache in league with Mr. Jerry Brooks, just to impress us. So Hourglass was a good interlude, but our bellies were rumbling, so now it's time to move on to somewhere else for lunch, and this time we decided to head up to Dawsonville and check out the pool room there. The pool room carries a bit of history. I think it's quite a well-known place in the local area, and there's some kind of heritage there regarding NASCAR racing and driving, and the food didn't look the most appetizing there, but it actually tasted pretty good. It's just quite a small, quaint backwater type place, and we had a fun lunch there. So after dinner, the weather was still beautiful, and we wanted to continue riding, but we wasn't quite sure where to. However, we decided we'd have a ride up to Brasstown Bald, which is a mountain located in the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest. And on the ride up to the top of the mountain, what the video doesn't really portray here is just how steep and twisty the mountain road up here is. And of course, you always lose a sense of speed, which always looks slower than the actual velocity in videos, unless you put one of the fancy filters on your camera, of course, which a lot of vloggers do, just for effect, really. But it was certainly a fun ride up there, and we enjoyed going up the mountain, steep and twisty climbs, and also the ride back down. As a destination, it's very popular with tourists, and it's a great place to visit. The mountain offers spectacular views, cool mountain air temperatures, beautiful scenery, and a visitor centre with a number of interactive exhibits. Brosstown Bald is Georgia's highest mountain, in actual fact, as it rises just under 5,000 feet above sea level, and its peak is some half a mile above the surrounding valleys. The observation deck offers a breathtaking view of the mountain's scenic vistas, which sweep across 4 states. On a clear day in late September and October, it's apparently even possible to see the skyline of Atlanta, and that's at least 100 miles south of the mountain. So that's pretty impressive views. Georgia's skyline is certainly beautiful at night, and it would be good to be up there, I think, in the evening and see that sometime. So the weather conditions up there are quite different from the rest of Georgia, which helps produce a variety of different plants and wildlife not found elsewhere in Georgia, basically. Typically temperatures at the top are around 10 degrees cooler than the surrounding areas, and according to records they've never exceeded 84 degrees, so although the big GSA was indicating 82.5, so I guess we chose a good day to go up there, basically. For the green-fingered amongst you, the mountain offers laurel, rose bay, and purple rhododendrons, and also flame azaleas too, which typically bloom late May and early June. Personally, I tend to kill anything green I touch, so but I do appreciate the natural beauty that the nature has to offer us, and the mountain's certainly beautiful. The busiest season is during the fall, when the leaves begin to change and the autumn's colours begin to spread across the Blue Ridge Mountains. Mid-October is the best time to come and view the North Georgia mountains, which are quite New England pretty, not quite New England pretty, I think it has to be said. I've been there a few times in the fall, but they are still very much stunning, and they do offer a lot for the leaf peepers amongst you, so do check out the Blue Ridge Mountains in the late fall. The autumn weather can be chilly up there, but it's also very beautiful when if you like taking photographs or just enjoy hiking. It's a great place to spend your leisure time. On the way back, we stopped for a quick drink at Two Wheels of Suches, and some young lad kindly took this photograph of left to right Eric, myself, and Jerry, and we enjoyed a little respite there from the heat and the riding from the day. And I also decided to walk across the road and check out the waterfall just the other side of the road. It's a really stunning little plot, and it's always nice to see. Well, I hope you've enjoyed riding along on our latest adventure this week again, and just remember to ride often, ride safely, ride on.